Oh man, lines are drawn. Wes is double-crossed in one of the most shocking eliminations of this season. We're going to talk all about it starting right now.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, AfterBuzzers? How's it going? Thank you once again for joining us on another after show of the challenge. And this was a really good episode. I'm your host, Benny Adams. Pam, unfortunately, is not here with us, but these guys are here to tie it down.
We're here!
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. We are good enough, right? But we do miss you, Pam.
We do. Before we get into it, I want to introduce you guys to my amazing co-hosts.
What's up? Dan here. Got a Dan Spears for you guys. Stick around.
As always, Mr. David Punkrock Christopher. What's going on, guys?
Yeah, we have so much to talk to you guys about, including we're going to be doing something a little different. We are going to be opening up the lines for you guys. Yeah, crazy, right? So if you guys have questions, comments, all you have to do is call in. That number is 424-354-8302. I'll remind you guys again before we get to that segment. But yeah, give us a call and let us know what you have to say about this episode.
Things could get cray with this.
Yeah.
We're so excited for this.
Yeah, very excited. But first, I want to see what you guys thought about this episode.
Almost the perfect episode for me until the last 2 minutes.
I thought it was great all the way around. Even the twist, the part that you weren't so fond of, Dan. I thought it was great, actually.
I liked the twist. I just wanted Wes to then win.
Right. Yeah, this was my favorite episode so far. I was rooting for Bear like no other. Like we were in there, just like I was yelling at the TV.
Right.
It was awesome.
You know, and I'm not a Bear fan, you know, but I will admit I was really rooting for Bear. You know, normally I like Wes.
Because we like the underdogs, right?
True, very true, yes.
In most circumstances, I would have been rooting for Bear just because of the way that everyone just was like, yeah, I guess I'll put my hand up for you too, you know, and he was kind of screwed. But then when it turned on Wes, which I called before it happened.
You did.
Because literally I was like, you guys, you realize Josh can send in either team. So if someone pisses him off on his own team, why can't he get sent in? And I also wanted Wes sent in or Wes to win because I wanted to see if he would switch to the Brit side, and we'll never know if he would have.
That's true, because we thought he would switch.
So I was excited to see him switch, because I thought he would have maybe had some better luck with Josh and Rogan. Sorry.
Right. So let's start off with the team meeting that the U.S. had, where they decided to let Josh be the person who picks who goes in.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was almost like they wanted a scapegoat to have to pick one of their bigger players, knowing that Josh is like in theory, their weakest guy on the U.S. team. They're like, well, if we make him the guy that says he'll do it, the tribunal, and he votes in their strongest player, we're all off the hook. We like Theo. We like whoever the strongest player is, et cetera. Yeah,
he's like a hired gun almost in that sense. You know what I mean? He's doing the dirty work.
Yeah,
and it doesn't affect him if it comes back to him.
I thought that was a stupid move on their part though, because whoever's in that position gets the power. So why would you just want to hand the power over that easily?
I mean, I don't think that they thought that Josh was going to make that huge move to put Wes in. I thought that they here's the thing, Banana says it at the end, and it's what I was saying for the first 2 episodes. These guys, Bananas and Wes, they don't ever want to be on a team together, and that's what basically what Banana said. He's like, none of us are really on a team together. We're just in the same colored outfit. That's all that's happening.
And that's true.
If you for 1 second think that by having this meeting we're all going to be like, oh, we all voted for Theo, so definitely Josh is going to say Theo now, you're all full of it. It's all BS.
And I love that he did that too. I mean, he literally just called it like it is. And you see everybody was kind of like, well, yeah, the guy's right. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, so that was much needed to be said. And yeah, all it was, I agree with you. I think it was just a scapegoat. Have Josh do that.
Right. So they wanted to do what they did in the previous challenge, vote in the strongest player. And so I think it was between Theo and Idris that they voted in. Do you think that's a smart move to just continue to vote in the strongest player?
I honestly think it is, because I think the backlash from doing that, it's hard for it all to, in theory, line up. Because even if your team wants you to be like, hey, they voted me, and so you should vote them in now because we're on the same team, as we see from tonight. no one really gives an F. They're just like, I'm going to do what I want to do. So even if Josh votes in Theo, is Theo really like, oh, next time I'm in the tribunal, I'm going after Josh? I don't think it's all going to line up that perfectly to do that. I really don't.
Yeah.
So that's why when Josh is like, I don't want to do that at first, I'm like, Josh, who cares though? Theo really... Is he going to come after you, or is Theo in theory going to try to get out a bigger player, like the U.S. has been trying to do for the UK?
Right.
So that's where I was like, Josh, it's not a big deal, but then Wes pissed you off enough, so I love that Josh did that. It made the episode super exciting. I know it had to be against my boy Wes, but Josh had every right to do it because Wes was literally he left the room and Wes was like, hey, he's my next one out anyway. So go for it, Josh. I'm not a hater on Josh like a lot of people are. I actually don't mind him whining and stuff. Who cares? He's emotional. Everyone is emotional on this show.
This episode, I have to say, I'm actually a fan of Josh now because he stood up for himself. He did what he thought was right. He didn't follow the crowd.
And Paulie was all mad, like, oh, you made our team worse. But Josh is, they have the way I looked at it is they have so many strong people in that U.S. team. If you can't win just because you're minus Wes, who by the way in that elimination looked like he was dogging it.
He got smoked.
He didn't.
I know he wasn't. Said he got spanked.
I know he wasn't prepared. And in that confessional right before he went on, he's like, I thought I was just gonna watch one tonight. It's like, yo, Wes, you got to get that out of your head.
Right.
You're going in there. You have to have a different state of mind, and he could not.
He's too cocky.
Quick enough.
He
couldn't prep quick enough.
Right.
And he was in a lose-lose. When he said it, he's like, if I win, I should have won. And if I lose, I'm going to get made fun of forever.
And it's true.
Pretty much. It's so
it's
true.
Very true.
And it sucks to be Wes today.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let's go on to the challenge, which it was called the paddle wheel puzzle.
Oh boy.
And it was like literally watching it, I was getting dizzy. You saw people like throwing up. So what they had to do was they had to get 16 puzzle pieces. They had to memorize these codes and then get the little sticks that formed into their flag.
Yeah.
So US did terrible, and one thing I noticed was UK was dogging them like no other. Like, what did you guys think about that challenge?
Well, the challenge I thought was actually really good. I thought it was really fun. Obviously they're doing these challenges based on you have to have good communication because they know both these teams don't. And who really would with like 16 people on each team?
Yeah.
How are you ever going to communicate properly with 16 people with a million different personalities? But as what was the other thing? You talk, because I got to think about it.
No, I agree. And I to your point, Dan, I think with so many different egos, it's. I think that's the whole point, to see if they can actually pull it together. You know what I mean? And then with all the obstacles combined with that, I mean, I think it was entertaining, to say the least.
Right. And someone did bring up a good point. They started working together well when they said what happened. It was they all yelled out. One person yelled out a number, and then they all put in that code.
And if they had started that way,
was a smart move.
And that was the thing I was going to say about the UK is instead of the UK talking and making fun of them, they should have been on the sidelines strategizing, saying this is what not to do. Instead, they were spending their time making fun of the US.
Exactly.
Like, UK, you haven't even won one of these challenges yet, so why don't you guys think about get in a little huddle here, get in a huddle. And think about what you're supposed to do so you don't mess up.
And the thing is, they had the advantage because they went last.
And that's my conspiracy for the night is that TJ just said, Americans, you're going first.
Right.
They put them first on purpose. The producers like, we got to give the Brits a chance to win one to try to make this an even season. So that's the conspiracy for the night is they did it on purpose to give the Brits a chance. And the Brits weren't even really taking that much of advantage. At least they didn't show that on TV.
They really didn't, because usually in challenge history, whoever wins can pick if they want to go first or last.
Yeah, in this case, TJ was like, Americans, you're going first.
Right.
Because this was the first challenge as well, though, that wasn't at the same time, right? The last two challenges, didn't they go at the same time, or no? What was last week's?
They did. I think they did.
The first week, they were just like flying at each other, so they were all at the same time.
Right. I don't remember.
I don't remember what last week's was.
I can't remember. Wow.
The swimming with Wes.
The swimming, so they did go separately.
But no, they were at the same time, weren't they? They were just like next to each other. Yeah.
I don't remember.
They were at the same time. Either way, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So we find out that the UK team wins, but we also find out that Theo cheated. What did you guys think about that whole situation? Theo
overall had a very rough night. He didn't come off well.
He had
in
a rough
episode.
He had a rough episode.
I mean, first of all, he didn't accidentally break it. That was my biggest takeaway. He literally said in the confessional, he's like, I'm ripping. Well, first of all, you see him rip it off, and then in the confessional, whatever, you hear his voiceover like, I see a lock, and I just ripped it. I just broke it. So he cheated, and it was definitely a cheat too, because that's ridiculously unfair.
Right. I mean, how do you how do you think that's gonna play out realistically? You know what I mean? Like, obviously, you didn't follow the rules. You just ripped the damn log out. Like, I mean,
and it's like they're watching, like you're being recorded. Like, of course, people are gonna catch that.
Right. There's a million cameras around, and it looked like he ripped. They only showed him rip one, but then TJ was holding up two.
Right.
So like he did it a second time.
And then during the confessionals, they were saying, "Oh, we got caught ripping the locks, like plural." So, and I feel like multiple people knew.
I want to know if someone else ripped the other lock, because if it was all Theo and Theo ripped both, no one seemed to get up on Theo's back about that.
Exactly.
Not one person. They didn't show one person call him out
because they were probably
knew.
For it.
Yeah, they knew. I mean, there was a couple of them in the confessionals that were like, "Oh, we got caught."
Here's another conspiracy for you. I think that the Brits would have won if they just undid the locks. I think they had a long advantage on those Americans.
They were killing it.
So that's interesting too to think about. Right. And then Theo was yelling out, "That was easy," or what was he saying? It was easy. It was easy. When they won, it's like, yeah, it's easy to cheat, Theo.
Yeah.
No, snot, you freaking. It was easy. It's easy to rip off a lock when you like got muscles.
I mean, that's a bummer though, because they legitimately could have had their first official like real win, and
of course the producers wanted the drama, so they had TJ tell them that they won first, and then like, there's lots of
TJ's like, there we go. It's not gonna happen. Before we move on to our next topic, we have a special announcement that we want to tell you guys.
AfterBuzzers, thank you so much for checking us out here tonight. We want to thank you for making us the ESPN of TV talk. If you want to leave us a comment, we'd love that. Give us a 5-star rating on iTunes. Hop on the YouTube, subscribe to one of our many channels, subscribe to this channel right here, The Challenge. AfterBuzz means the world to us, so we love being here. We love working here at AfterBuzz TV. So please, please, please be nice and comment and have a great day. Back to the show.
Thank you guys. We always appreciate you guys tuning in, watching us. Does anyone say anything in the live chat?
Someone said that Wes was sick, and maybe that's why he was not all there tonight. Someone said Wes was sick, but we knew that he was sick in the other episode, and I don't know how long it was until if it was a week or if it was maybe a couple days between when they were filming. I don't know how.
What's interesting though? So last season, Johnny got voted off very early. This season, Wes gets voted off in episode 3. So I thought
it's 3.
Kind of feel like karma-ish because they both want each other out so bad.
It's funny how that played out too, and I mean Johnny just loved it. He was just like, tonight was just like the greatest night ever.
Right, exactly.
Of course it was. Yeah.
All right, so let's go to Deliberation. So Josh, he is the speaker, like everyone agreed on, and he decides to pick Zach and Laurel. So they go in, and Team UK wants Bear. Bear is not happy about this whatsoever, and I feel like Bear always gets the short end of the stick because, he does piss people off, but at least he's an honest guy. He speaks what's on his mind.
Let me ask you this about the Bear thing. Who is a weaker competitor on the UK side besides Bear? In theory, before he just did that elimination against Wes.
Who's weaker than Bear?
Yeah, who's like on the UK side? Who might be a weaker competitor?
They're pretty stacked.
That's what I mean.
They're pretty stacked.
Hold on. I would say just because based on performance, as you stated, what the heck is it? Rogan? I would say Rogan, just because of what we've seen previously, and we haven't seen different.
But like Rogan said though, that was a year and a half ago.
Very, very true. But again, we haven't seen nothing yet.
Exactly. And Bear, he's proven himself.
Right.
He's proven himself time and time again.
So fair enough. So let's say it's down to Rogan and Bear. So Bear's exactly right when he says, well, Rogan's doing D, and Rogan's best friends with Joss. Well, let's just be honest, right? So Bear's only alliance is Theo, who just cheated in a game.
Right.
So, and Bear is difficult to get along with a lot of the time. So he, in theory, is the right person, the easy person, the scapegoat, if you will, if that's the word we're going to use tonight for people, to put in. And that it is what it is.
Right, yeah. No, it's the game. It's how the game works.
And if Bear was going against anyone besides Wes tonight, I'd be rooting for him too because he was actually entertaining tonight. And that tribunal was finally entertaining.
That tribunal was epic.
And the things Bear was saying, the Bear literally broke it down on why he got voted in.
Right.
And why every single person's situation, who they're with, who they're lined up with.
It was on point.
It was on point. It was very factual and it was very fun.
The guy is just good TV.
Yes,
like
he is.
hands down.
He finally
like,
was tonight. He wasn't. I didn't like him in the first 2 episodes as far as good TV goes, but tonight he was good TV. He was funny again.
Well, speaking of Bear, so his friend Theo definitely had a night where he decided to get in a fight, and it's crazy because we've never seen Theo like this. Like last season, we really didn't see much of him until the final.
And that's what I would always say about Theo. Last season, everyone's like in love with Theo and all love him.
Yeah.
He doesn't do anything. That's what I was saying. And now he does this, so all these people that love Theo, I'm like, but look at the way that he's talking to people.
Yeah.
And then he's saying to them in person, like, I'm not like that. I don't think I'm better than you. And then they show him in the confessional, like, well, what Rogan said is true. I do think that I'm better.
Right.
I'm like, wait, what's going on? So you're just lying to these, and now let's be honest, Theo is drunk out of his mind. He couldn't even put words together at first.
Yeah.
So
They were both wasted.
I don't like to blame stuff on the alcohol. I think that drunken words are sober thoughts. As far as I'm concerned. So that's my personal opinion. So, but yeah, Theo, not a good look tonight. I'm not a good look.
Yeah, and I mean for me, like you said, Dan, we didn't see a whole lot of that side last season. We didn't see much period other than just his performance, which is great.
Right.
So to see him in this aspect, it's weird and it's disappointing because it kind of changes an image that I think maybe you might have had previously.
Right.
But yeah, so I mean, if he is that arrogant a-hole type of guy, as I believe what it was D that said that.
Right, yeah.
Because D tried to jump in and then he started yelling at D about something, but it was so hard to keep everything together.
That was when I started losing a little respect for the guy, because before I was like, okay, he's drunk, he's getting in an argument, we've never seen this side of him before, no big deal. But then when he starts going at it with D, I was like, dude, that's a little too far, man.
And it's like, and this was like the weird time for him to jump in and being this bad guy supposedly, because like you just cheated in the challenge, you should be laying low.
Exactly.
I can't believe no one's called you out for breaking the law.
And he's associated with Bear, who isn't very popular
That's
with
very
everyone.
true.
So you gotta be like that other guy. You gotta be opposite of Bear. And now it kind of seems like he's a little worse.
And the other thing is though, is that Theo is probably the strongest competitor on their team. I mean, he did perform great last year, and that also could be going to his head though, how well he did that first season, right?
Hands down.
So that he's bringing that in with him to this season, and I don't want to say it's backfiring because it's really not yet. I can't say that it's backfiring. I just don't think it's a good look.
I feel like with a lot of the rookies from last season who are here this season, who made it far, they let it get to their head, and they've gotten like really cocky about it.
I would say, with the exception of Turbo. Turbo's still Turbo.
Yeah, Turbo's still Turbo, which I love Turbo.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, but I agree with you, yeah.
Okay. So then we go to Josh and Team US. Josh is starting to go back on his word of putting in Theo, and he wants to put in, who does he want? He wants to put in someone else.
He was just putting out names. He was saying Josh. He said he was just saying other people. Kyle. He said Josh and Kyle. Just because he didn't want to say Theo because he's worried that Theo's going to backlash on him, which I don't think it really will. I will say this about Josh's move about putting Wes in. I think if it was anybody besides Wes, if it was a Bananas or if it was someone else big on the team, I think Wes would have been like, Josh, this is a badass move. I like it. If he was, say, put in Jordan, Wes would have loved this.
Yeah,
so I think Wes has, in theory, he won't say it probably to the camera. I think he's like, I don't want to have mad respect for you, but like that was a boss move that maybe I would have made if people were against me.
Right.
I agree.
But you know what? I don't feel bad for Wes whatsoever, because he put it on himself. He made that comment in front of Laurel when he thought she was sleeping. Laurel goes and tells Josh everything.
It bit him in the ass tonight, unfortunately.
And you know what? We have to give props to Laurel, because this was her plan. This wasn't Josh's plan. Josh just did what he was told.
Yeah, it was almost as if Josh was thinking it but too afraid to say it, and then Laurel's like, hey, how about we do this? And Josh's like, that's it.
Right.
I just was afraid to say it, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely Laurel's plan. All right, I'll get into the other stuff later because we're not there yet. So
yeah, so good for Laurel for being able to do that. I was very worried because Laurel was like, we can't tell anyone this, no one can know. And usually on reality TV, when you say something like that, that means someone is going to say something. I was super worried. Did you guys think they were gonna spill the beans?
I know you thought Josh was gonna spill the beans right when I said no, Josh won't. But then you and I, when we saw Laurel go, we were like, oh,
right.
But then I immediately said, oh, she's saying it to Bananas though. Bananas is gonna want this.
Yeah.
So Bananas isn't gonna say anything. Bananas is gonna want to ruin this.
I did think Josh was gonna say something, especially when he was kind of getting grilled by the team members. Everybody's trying to persuade him to stick to the plan. I thought and he was getting emotional, and especially when he started telling Wes, hey, I heard this is what I was told, blah blah blah. I thought he was gonna kind of let it out there and just.
But he didn't, which was nice.
He didn't, yeah. But I really thought he was going to. I was like, come on, dude, don't do it, man.
Right.
But he hung in there. So.
And then a couple of other people, they tried to get into Josh's head about it, and so I thought that was going to change his mind as well. And they kept on saying, he's playing with his feelings, he's playing with his emotions, and I don't think that's a bad thing. That's just his game. Everyone has a different game for this challenge.
Yeah, and so then my whole thing was Bear. I think another thing that I don't think they showed it. I bet Laurel went and said something to Bear, right?
You think so?
Because here's the thing, because Bear came down there, so now it looks like Bear's playing, because Bear's like, I want to go against US, I'm calling you out. When in theory, I bet Bear already knew, right?
Right.
So Bear is just like, all right, Laurel told me, so if I call him out now, I'm gonna look even more like a badass.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's the only guy that's my enemy, my rival. Thank you. That's the word I'm looking for. Rival. So it all kind of
because that's
just
that's a big coincidence,
Right, and that's what I was like all this. Because when he said that, I'm like, wait, all the stars are aligned. They're not even gonna know that Josh came up or Josh, was kind of behind this, but not really. Laurel was behind this, but now Bear's saying so they're not even gonna know about Laurel and Josh's plan.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, wait, Laurel probably told Bear, and they didn't show that. So
be.
Another conspiracy. I got 3 of them tonight. You producers didn't want to show us that, did you, producers? I know what's up.
My whole thing is, how didn't Wes see it coming? Because even Josh called him out and said, I heard you say this and that of me, blah, blah, blah. Instantly, if I was Wes, I would have been like, oh crap, he heard me say I want to get rid of him. He might want to get rid of me. What if he's plotting to get rid of me?
I think, like we said earlier, I think he underestimated Josh and assumed that, he's a veteran, he's got the team behind him. He's not going to have the balls to make a move like that. I think he didn't really think he'd go that far.
Yeah, I don't think he thought he was going to do it. Because I thought until now this is the first time that they've chosen their own player.
Right.
And I think that Wes was like, I'm too big of a player. They're going to want to lose me. They can literally just vote in the other team.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be on the same team here, so.
That's very true. All right, before we get on to our next topic, which is the challenge, I just want to remind you guys that the lines are going to be open. Yeah. So if you want to call us, if you have a comment or a question about the show, or just want to talk about anything, you can reach us at 424-354-8302. Again, 424-354-8302. All right, let's get to the proving floor.
Oh boy.
That was intense like no other. And Wes was so cocky. He was so cocky. Like, he knew he was going to win. He thought he was going to win.
Right.
And what did you guys think?
I didn't get that. But what tell me what he said that made you think he was...
He just seemed like, like I've done this before. Like, I've been doing this. And he didn't seem worried whatsoever.
Even the comment of, if I don't win, I get nothing. And if, or if I don't win, they're going to make fun of me type of comment.
It was either... Right. It was either he was too cocky about it, or he just didn't care. Yeah, he was like, I don't care if I lose or win. I've done these challenges before.
Okay, so I'm getting a different vibe from both of those. I'm getting he was so caught off guard. He wasn't cocky. He was like, he was trying to come up with what to say or to do. Like, he didn't think in a million years he was going to even have to be down there.
It could have been like a little bit of both. You know what I mean? It could have been like he's caught off guard.
I think he was just trying to. I think he was confused and just trying to catch and I don't know how long they give them between telling them the rules and right. going. If it's 5 minutes, for that 5 minutes, I mean. Did he? I mean, when he knows he's going into a challenge, he's probably stretching. Or if he has a chance to go into a challenge, suppose, like if he thinks he might, he's stretching. He's getting his body. Maybe he's eating certain foods. Who knows? And if it's true that Wes is sick, that sucks too. But I'll say this: Bear won fair and square. Bear came to play. Bear was beating the crap out of him, and Wes did not do anything to retaliate. The whole time, I'm like, Wes, retaliate, man.
Here's the thing: Wes is known as a very aggressive dangerous competitor, you know. Tonight, I didn't see Wes.
I didn't see Wes.
I was like, is this a rookie? Who is this?
Well,
Bear just took the fight to him. I mean, he like plowed over him, owling him, like literally just yanking the ball from him. Like, where did this guy come from?
Well, so let's be honest. Wes isn't this young, early 20-something-year-old guy anymore. And I'm not saying like because he's like what he's. I'm guessing he's in his mid-30s now. I'm not saying that when you get in your mid-30s, like you just lose it all. But he's competing with someone who is a lot younger, more energy, especially with Bear. So
yeah, I mean, the chosen one here writes in the live chat that he thinks he underestimated Bear.
Oh, hands down.
So there you go.
I think a lot of people underestimate Bear, which confuses me because he didn't win last season, but he did amazing in those challenges last season.
I mean, I even underestimated Bear. I thought Wes was at least gonna take it to him at the very least. You know, I didn't think Bear would do as well as he did, and the way he performed, I was impressed.
Right, and you definitely saw that Bear had more heart. I was surprised that they were letting all that stuff fly with the punching and the kicking.
I mean, TJ tried to go in there and kind of stop it.
But that's also where I say, where like you think Wes would have triggered again, like Wes, you know, he would have kicked back in and he would.
That's what I was waiting for. I stood up out of my chair and I'm just like, come on, like when is it gonna turn?
Turbo even commented, he's like, you know, if someone goes like this, I'm gonna kick him after you. Like, but he didn't do nothing. Like,
well, and that's why I was like, was Wes really into it?
Right.
Because remember last season during the reunion, Zach, he wanted to go home. And I feel like, I wonder if like these people who have been in the challenges for so long, do they just not care anymore if they get eliminated versus someone who is brand new to the challenge or has only been on it for 2 or 3 seasons?
Yeah, I think it's a classic case of, you know, the wolf that's, you know, hungriest to climb that mountain is not as hungry as the one at the top.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Bear is this new, fresh, young competitor. He's hungry. You know, he wants his steak and all this. Wes has been there, done it. You know? And like you said, he's older. So there was 2 different fights tonight with these guys. You know, Bear was that hungry competitor. He was going for it. Wes, as we saw, it didn't seem like he had a whole lot of heart tonight.
Right. So. That's true.
I mean, and Wes used to be like jacked up.
That's what I'm saying.
He's thinning out a little more. People in here are writing that Wes is past his prime, they think. And like I said, Bear, apparently he was training with Theo during the off season and gained some muscle and is getting a little more jacked up.
Yeah,
so.
Even Laura was like, she could tell that he
she liked his body tonight.
Oh,
she was saying that very, very confidently.
They definitely had some fun that night, probably.
Right.
All right, guys. So as I told you before, the lines are open.
Yeah.
So if you want to give us a call, is anyone saying in the chat that they want to call? Just hit us up 424-354-8302.
Yeah. Call us up if you'd like. We're gonna keep talking until we get some calls. So.
Right. So what else did you guys think about this show? Because there was so much.
Let me jump in real quick, guys. I got a caller on the line.
All right, great.
Caller, let us know who you are and where you're calling from.
Or let us guess.
Oh, no. Let's
lose
see
him?
if the audio is working. You guys keep going for just 1 second.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, I wanted Wes to win, man. I want him to switch teams so bad. I thought that would have been so cool. It would have been the first. That would have been a big thing for the thing too.
I for sure thought Bear was gonna switch.
I didn't think he was
Oh, that's a good one.
I didn't think it was gonna happen.
I think that he should have switched just because
he had motive to. He definitely had motive to, but I think it would have been predictable. And I think with where Bear was standing, he wanted that honor. You know.
I just think they're going to keep voting. The problem is, I think they're going to keep voting in Bear every guy's elimination.
You think now?
Just because the numbers are against him because he doesn't have any. Rogan and Josh aren't gonna switch sides. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna switch to we should vote ourselves in so Bear can have a day off.
Right.
Maybe Idris would get another vote in because he's a rookie.
Right.
I think that's stupid though. Idris is like a beast.
And that's fair, and I can agree with you on that for sure. But that's why I thought Bear could have, in theory, switched to the other team. But because then at least he has Josh below him, and I don't know. Then again, that could have ended quickly too. And by the way, like everyone was getting mad at Josh for rooting for Georgia in the last episode,
which I didn't get.
I believe Laurel, who's more prominent, strong on that team, was rooting for Bear, and no one had an issue with it. So it's really based on if you're a strong competitor, we'll let it slide. It's like anything, right?
Right.
I just feel like Josh they feel like Josh is easy to pick on.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah, he
And so
is.
that's why they're going to go after
And then
him.
Ashley's like, you're just rooting for Georgia because you want to get some from her. Yeah, so what, Ashley? That's awesome. Georgia's really cute.
But that's
why
what-
can't Josh
Go, everyone.
have a go?
Let me interrupt real quick. I think I got everything running
Oh, fantastic.
now. So we
Alright.
have a caller on the line. Caller, let us know who you are and where you're calling from. There we go. They hung up on me.
Oh.
But we got another one right away. Here we
Okay,
go.
good.
Caller, let us know who you are and where you're calling from.
Hi, my name is Kayla, and I'm calling from Long Island.
Hey, Kayla.
Thank you for staying up late with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I really, I had a high and low about the episode, but, one that confused me with Josh, I don't really believe that Josh, that move that he pulled was very smart. I think he still is he's playing a Big Brother game, and I feel like you can't come to the challenge trying to play a Big Brother game, because I am a fan of Big Brother, and they play really sneaky games over there, and I don't think it'll work over here in the move he pulled. So I want to ask you guys, do you think after him voting in West, especially the amount of people that I saw mad, I saw Pauly, I saw I think Cara and Cam were upset, do you think that's going to put a target on his back?
Hands down.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I agree with you. And, as you saw, the team members were upset, and I think he's definitely going to have a target, and that's going to divide the team even more.
Mm-hmm.
But that also begs the question, too, is he going to have now support from Johnny, from Jordan? Obviously Laurel's got his back.
Right.
So
Here's the thing, Kayla. Josh had a target on his back no matter if he made this move or if he didn't make this move. So at least he made his mark on challenge history. In theory, no matter what, Bananas, Jordan, they're all going to go for him first if needs be, because they think he's the weakest competitor. So at least he was able to take out one of those big guns on his own team that are going to try to vote him out. So that's my opinion on that whole thing. And I've seen other people play Big Brother moves. Wes has been doing Big Brother moves
hands
for
down.
years, and he's been
True.
pretty successful with it. So, it's just a matter of time. Josh will not win, and that's a crazy prediction, I know. But
You never
I know
know.
I know
You
that's a
never
hot
know.
take, guys.
you never know. You know what I mean? You never know.
I got one more thing.
All right.
All right.
What do you guys, I don't know if you guys touched on it or not, but what do you guys think? Do you think Bear and Laurel make a cute couple?
You know what?
Well, hold on. We hear Georgia say tonight that she thought it was really hot what Bear was doing there. So maybe now they get back together and Laurel's throwing the dust, because I like Georgia more.
Yeah, I like Georgia and Bear way
Way more, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Laurel's cool, don't get me wrong, but
My conspiracy is that Laurel, because what she did, because she was behind it, and I don't think people know, that she'll get sent home next week, because I'm pretty sure it's female.
I
That's
didn't think
my
about that.
conspiracy, that
It is a
Laurel will get
female.
sent home.
It is a female elimination next week. So in theory, but she's it would be.
She's a strong competitor.
First of all,
though.
UK would have to win.
Yeah.
And then they would obviously vote in 2 U.S. teams. And Kayla could be right, because if UK wins, they're going to be gunning for the biggest competitors on the U.S. side.
Very true.
So Laurel could be on the chopping block.
She could.
that's
She
a good
could.
question. That's actually, that's
Yeah, she's
possible.
gonna get sent home next week, and I just said, and I'm sorry if I'm keeping you guys, but I just feel it's funny. I feel like the producers really messy. I feel like they brought in certain females to go against Carl. First it was Ashley, there was Faith, then it was Laurel, and now Faith is gone. Ashley and Carl are friends, and my conspiracy is that Laurel's gonna get sent home. I just have a feeling that she's gonna get sent home. So Carl's gonna go to another final, and also.
Wow. You think
Never
Carl's
going to pass her. I'm sorry.
The last time Laurel was on a challenge, the challenge she had to be on, she lost. So you never know.
Yeah,
You never know.
and I'd love to see Laurel go against Cara, just because they're such enemies right now, and they're
That
on the
would be
same
fun.
team. So that would be fun. So I don't want to see Laurel go home next
Me
week.
neither.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
But that is a good
She's
point,
going home. Sorry.
All right. Well, thanks for calling, Kayla.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kayla.
Do we have any
have
other
anyone
callers there,
else?
Jonathan? We'll go to.
Not at the moment. Let's get some
All
more
right.
callers in, though.
All right, come on,
Alrighty.
guys, give us a call. Kayla was great. Thank you, Kayla.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you, Kayla. We appreciate you staying up late out there.
What time is it over there? 3 a.m.
Probably.
My
It's
God.
amazing. That's
All right.
amazing.
So do you guys think in future episodes, let's just go to our predictions. Do you guys think that anyone is going to switch over?
Yeah, I think that's a great question. I really do. I would have said Bear, and he didn't do it tonight, so he's not going to do it now if he didn't do it before. You could say Josh might, but he'd have to win an elimination,
Yeah.
which is going to be rough on him. I don't, because I said Wes too, and Wes is now gone.
Right.
I feel like there is going to be some twist that we're not going to see coming.
Maybe
where
maybe a CT,
someone is
though.
going to switch. I just know that there's this rule for a reason, and someone's got to do it. You know, it's going to happen eventually.
Right.
I don't know who now at this point. I really don't, but I think it's going to happen.
Yeah,
Well-
maybe a CT because he did say tonight that it's getting old.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
And he's getting old. So maybe he wants to hop on the U.S. side. And he wouldn't be, maybe he would be on the chopping block if he even went to the U.S. side, but at least he'd be winning more challenges. Therefore, the U.K. would have to be, in theory, they could be voting in the U.K. side.
I feel like he's in a really good position on Team UK, though. I feel like if he was on Team US, he would be on the bottom.
There-
But
and
I
see,
feel like they
that
look
is a
up to
great
him on
point.
Team UK.
It's true. Yeah, that's true.
He might be on the chopping block more on the U.S. side, which is,
So I feel like he should just stay. Someone who I think would do it. I don't know if he's going to, but I can see Johnny doing it because everyone knows Johnny's games. Everyone knows, just like Wes, Johnny is sneaky.
Right.
So I can see Johnny switching over to Team UK as also.
just to be Johnny.
Just to make a move, to be that only guy to make that move. I can see it.
yeah,
yeah, it wouldn't be beyond him. That's true.
it definitely wouldn't. So.
All right, guys. So let me jump in right there. That's a good point. We have another caller on the line. So, caller, let us know who you are and where you're calling from.
Hello, my name is Jessica, and I am calling from Houston.
What's
Wow.
up, Jessica?
Was it 2 a.m. there?
Yes, it is.
Nice.
Thanks for staying up.
Yes, thank you.
And I love you guys.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks,
you.
thanks.
We love you too.
You don't even know her.
I just want to say this episode made me cry because Wes gives me life, and I'm sad that he's gone.
Oh.
And another thing, am I the only one that forgot that Zach was on this season?
You know, they haven't been showing Zach that much. And because usually when they do show Zach, it's with Jenna, who I miss a lot this season.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
I
usually
do
Zach
miss
and
that
Jenna.
too.
I'll say this, Jessica. They did show Zach tonight. He puked in the water. So that's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm surprised they're not showing that rivalry
Sorry
between.
from cutting you guys off, but another thing, have we heard George's friend, what's her name, Nicole and Jennifer? Have we heard them speak yet?
I think like once
Not
or twice.
much, yeah.
Yeah, and I still refer to her as George's friend.
George,
So I don't even know her
right.
name
Yes.
yet.
Nicole, yeah.
She will literally. I think they showed a picture of her tonight, but
And
wait.
why is she continuing to skate under the radar? You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
what
she-
is going
well,
on?
She's,
next-
being, she's
She's
protected.
George's friend.
I know.
She's
but
George from
come
next
on.
week, Jessica. That could be a hot take that she
I
gets
can
voted in
see that.
because, like, what is hell has
She's
she
one
done?
of-
Right.
They're giving Rogan a hard time, right? But this girl hasn't done anything. Send her in.
I
here.
agree. I want to see what the heck this girl is like.
And I
what-
think it's fair because they did that with, Big T?
yeah, very
so,
true.
Right, and then
Yeah.
and like
Oh,
the,
and you know, like another thing, I feel like with Nicole and Jennifer, I can't tell them apart, but like you heard them say last week when Big T went home, they don't want to go up against Jennifer because look at her, she's big.
Yeah,
And I said, but that's to me, and watching the challenges years I've been watching it, that's playing a scared game.
True.
And you're gonna have her skate right to the finals. Same thing with Nicole because because everyone's saying that she's a weak player, but I said, but you guys are not throwing her in because they love Georgia, because they're friends with Georgia. But still, you guys are going to give her a ticket to the final because you don't want to call her down. Like, if she's as weak as you guys say she is, call her down. But they don't want to call Jennifer down because they're scared of her, and they want to call Nicole down because she's Georgia's friend. But I said, we don't never see them. So I'm like, that's my thing.
Unless the U.S. is going to throw Jenny in against one of the other girls, Jenny's probably not going in. She's jacked out of her
Tara?
mind.
Well, and the
I
thing
want to see her
is,
and Tara go against each other.
That would
That would be
bad.
cool.
Yeah.
well, the thing is, like, they have to remember that the challenge is not just about brute strength. You
Right.
have puzzles also. Like, you have to, like, use your brain to sometimes win. It's like that one season where Devin beat Bananas.
True.
And it was
Lights
a
out,
puzzle.
baby.
Yeah, it was a puzzle
Freaking
type of
light bright.
challenge. So it's
I
not
remember that. Oh, my God.
right. So it's not always just like a brute strength type of
Yeah.
challenge. And I think they're forgetting that.
And none of them have been challenged with their mind yet.
Exactly.
We have no idea how strong Jenny could be. She might not be able to put a puzzle together. We don't know.
Nicole might be the most
Exactly.
smartest person in
Exactly.
that house
You guys say that.
and win a challenge.
I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off.
No,
Go
you're
ahead,
fine.
Go ahead.
I get what you guys said, and I feel what you guys are saying is right. It's not always about that, and I also feel like they do that with Cara every season, because no one, until someone has the balls to call her down like they did Bananas, Cara's gonna keep skating to the final, like, because no one has ever had the balls to call her down, because you see how she is. Because if it's something physical, if she goes to something physical with Georgia, there's no question between that. But if it's something between her and Jennifer, that's even playing field. But until somebody has the balls to call Cara down, like they have done Bananas time after time, we'll never know. And Cara hasn't seen an elimination in I don't know how long.
I mean, that's a good viewpoint.
It's gonna be tough to get any of the U.S. girls out in theory if the U.S. keeps winning though too. That's the other thing. It just is. It is
the
what
UK
it
is sucking like bad. I feel so bad. They're sucking really bad. And I love the UK. But they need to pick it up.
Yeah.
They could have had. Oh yes, it was so funny how when TJ said UK wins, and then they're all laughing and embarrassed saying "F you" to the USA, and then TJ says, "But wait," and then their faces just stopped, and that had me dead when they did it on Twitter. I was like, oh my gosh.
All right, Jessica, thank you so much. We're going to try to get one more caller in here. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jessica.
Thank you so much, Jessica.
Thank you. Love you guys.
Thanks.
I love you too.
You love everyone.
I do. I just like to give love.
All right, one more caller, yeah? Jonathan, what do you think?
They're not on the line yet, but let's.
Oh, okay.
I know I have one caller that's been calling for the past like 5 minutes.
Okay.
And still wasn't able to get in, but just one moment.
They'll call back in.
All right.
So you know what I'm surprised I'm not seeing this season? The rivalry between Zach and Bananas from last season.
Yeah, was that even like a rivalry though? I don't even know if
they were pissed. He was pissed enough though.
Yo,
like,
they kind of maybe they solved it over the off season too.
Yeah, and they did touch on it on the reunion, but it didn't seem like it was squashed.
When they touched on the reunion, they say they worked things out. I forget.
They didn't work things out. Like Zach, I think he apologized, and Johnny was like,
I remember. So Zach apologized for leaving early and not being 100% honest about his intentions in that game and not taking it seriously and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But they haven't really. I mean, maybe they talked about it on this season. They just decided not to show that footage because it hasn't been that part of the game. They don't need to show that to make the storyline work this yet. So
and again, we haven't seen a whole lot of action from Zach. So
we really haven't.
He had that one funny line tonight though.
What did he say?
Where he's like, it's about being emotional or something like that about Josh or something like that.
Oh yeah.
What did he say?
Yeah.
It was funny though. Oh, he said about Ninja. He said to Ninja, like, how dare you call out Josh being emotional? He's not. How is that? That's not emotional. Of course, Josh already left the room being emotional. So that's
speaking of funny lines, Turbo. Remember what he said during the challenge? Like, I feel bad for hamsters.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I got one more caller in.
All right.
Caller, let us know who you are and where you're calling from.
Martin from Colorado.
Hey, Martin, what's going on, man?
Hey guys, I just want to go back to just scale it back to the whole Wes and Bear elimination. I actually don't really feel bad about Wes in this situation, particularly after that racist nonsense he did to Davon last season. But that's for another conversation. But also, you should already know how sneaky of a player he is if you watched the first World of Roles. If you don't know how much of a sneaky player he is from last season, then you deserve to get voted off. And also with the cars getting through the finals, I would actually like to see some of the girls call out some the veteran girls like Laurel. I want to see a Laurel and Jenny battle.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
That would be epic. Yeah, I definitely don't I love Cara. I love watching her, but I don't want to see her skate to the end of another challenge.
I agree. Definitely challenger, and we got to see what these new competitors can do as well.
Exactly.
I agree.
So yeah.
And then to touch on what you said too about the West situation, I agree 100%. West shot himself in the foot tonight. And he has played these same type of games. Yeah. So it just kind of what comes around goes around. He got caught off guard, and he admitted Bear was the better man tonight. Right. So I agree. Yeah.
As in regards to the Laurel Jenny battle, that's going to be really hard to get going because say the UK wins, why would they send in their best player? And if the US wins and they do vote in Jenny, why would they try to waste Laurel in with Jenny? So unfortunately, they wouldn't want to, because there's a chance she could lose.
That would be an epic battle.
It would, but I don't see it. It'd be really hard for it to happen.
Who do you think they would throw in place of her though?
In place of who?
Laurel.
If who won? You have to tell me.
In place of Laurel in that situation.
If Jenny won.
If Jenny won, Well, the UK would get to decide.
Right.
No, I'm sorry. If the US won and they voted in Jenny, they could just vote in another UK player. They don't even have to take their own player.
True.
But if they wanted the US player,
they
could put.
It
depends who they're mad at. Well, yeah, why would they get rid of?
Point,
Why would they get rid of any of their players? It's a tough call. But definitely would be cool to see.
I just want to see it too, because I also think this might be an unpopular opinion, because I also think that like Laurel, in like some ways, has skated through finals as well, because she's such a good player.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the past. So if you say Cara skates through finals, why can't Laura skate through finals? I mean, they've been doing these shows like for the same amount of time. Like they think they've done fresh meat or something.
As we saw tonight, Wes went in.
Yeah.
He didn't get a chance to skate. So anything could, in theory, happen. But yeah, you're gambling, and a gamble's a gamble.
Mm-hmm. But like I said,
so it's tough if you want to put Laurel in. There's a good chance you might be going home,
right?
If you have the balls to do it.
But then you have to remember, Laurel.
What about a Laurel and a ninja battle? That's just me.
That'd be cool to watch too.
Yeah,
that'd be cool to watch.
We got to have the UK actually win something first, and then we can see that.
Yeah.
That's true. Who would you have on that?
Laurel Ninja?
Yeah.
Depends what it is. Is it physical? I mean, either way, if it's physical, I still don't know.
So far, they've all been pretty physical.
Yeah, if it was a physical ninja hand.
Maybe ninja,
down,
that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
Marty McFly, thank you, my man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for calling in. Good questions. We'll do this next week. This was fun,
I think so.
Right?
It was fun.
Yeah.
I think it was good.
This was cool.
Tell us in the comments below if you liked it. If not, we're still probably going to do it. So that'd be fun.
Right. All right, guys. That is all the time we have for today. Why don't you guys go and let them know what your handles are?
Yes. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Thank you to the callers. It was really awesome getting to talk with you guys. Keep calling in and chatting with us. As always, David Christopher. Find me on Instagram. I'm David Christopher on Twitter at I'm David C _.
You changing all your handles?
I had to, yes.
The Dan Lindgren on Instagram. Hit me up, guys.
What's up, guys? I am Benny Adams, and you can find me on all social media at Benny J. Adams. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Good night.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.